must be our goal and our guide. And all that we strive for as a human family, dignity and hope, progress and prosperity, depends on peace. But peace depends on us.
Good morning, and thank you so much for joining us. My name is Miriam Ogutu, and this is Good Morning Africa. And we're coming to you from Kenya's capital here, Nairobi, just a few minutes past 9 a.m. And before I bring the panelists in and take us through the headlines this morning, I'd like to bring us up to date with the latest figures of COVID-19 in the country. In Kenya right now, the confirmed cases stands at 124,707. The death toll in the country has reached 2,066, and recovery so far is 90,770. Uganda, the cases right now is at 40,000. I beg your pardon, 719. The death toll is still 334. Has been like this for a while now. And recovery so far is 15,139. And South Africa, the confirmed cases, 1,540,009 cases, and the death toll in South Africa is 52,372. Recovery so far is 1,466,595 cases. The total figures in Africa at 3,053,900, and the number of deaths that have been reported so far from COVID-19 in the continent stands at 101,875, and then recovery so far is 2,717,112. All right, and the global figures right now have surpassed 125.4 million cases worldwide. All right, and let me just take us through quickly the news headlines this morning of the Daily Nation, the Standard, and the Star newspapers, the leading newspapers here in the country. I wanted to say here in the country. All right, so we start with the Daily Nation. And the main headline there, Russian vaccine now raises safety concerns to critical health ministry agencies clueless as it emerges that Sputnik V, the Russian-made vaccine, is already available in some private hospitals here in Kenya, which was set to start administering it today at a fee of 8,000 Kenya shillings a dose. And then down there, Raila Party rocks Uhuru coalition plan. And then on the side, bitter fight for slots in UDA party. Okay, and then Mombasa's empty ICU beds, while Nairobi and its environs are grappling with the little spaces right now. There's none actually in our hospitals. Mombasa's ICU bed seems to be empty. I don't know, there's something that perhaps Mombasa is doing that is right, that the rest of us should perhaps, emulate. And then on the Star newspaper, the main headline there, Ruto linked to UDA party to give hustlers key positions. And then fury as Kisumu County askaris drag woman on tarmac. I saw that video and I can't even tell you how I felt. And then up there, MPs want state accounting bosses probed over cash misuse. And then there's a pictorial there on the front pages of the Star newspaper of Lusaka getting his COVID-19 vaccine. So Senate Speaker there receiving AstraZeneca in Parliament yesterday. Maybe that will inspire a few Kenyans to go and get themselves vaccinated, especially our frontline workers who we are now discovering are a bit hesitant of going to get this very important jab. And on the Standard newspaper, the main headline there is fallout gets messy. NASA implosion, the removal of Cleophas Malala as the Senate Deputy Minority Leader by Raila Odinga's Orange Party causes a storm, with other NASA partners ANC, Ford Kenya and Wiper protesting bitterly in a letter to the Speaker. And then Courts holds Uhuru order on KTDA poll, and then up there, Russian vaccine lands amid burning questions, and Kenya grants Sputnik V emergency use authorization, even as debate rages on how a consignment of the Russian jabs were brought in and prices set. This even as country registers a low uptake of AstraZeneca doses, and the story there is on page 2 of the Standard newspaper. Thank you so much. So joining me on the panel this morning is Douglas Kirimi, who is coming to us all the way from Meru County. Douglas, how are you today?
A very good morning to you, Miriam, and also to our friends across the world. Today is a very good morning here in Meru, and also it is very sunny, and we are grateful to God. And also thank you for having me on the show.
Okay, very well. Nice to have you. It's a beautiful morning here in Nairobi too. Not too cold, not too hot, but it's a bright and sunny morning here. So let's just start with the fallout in the opposition here and the removal of Cleophas Malala as the Senate Deputy Minority Leader by Raila's ODM party has not really augured well with other NASA principles, which we really have to ask ourselves right now. Does NASA even exist, Douglas?
Thank you, Miriam. NASA ended when Musalia Mudavadi, Moses Wetangula, and Kalonzo Musyoka were waiting to be called from a Nigerian number. In 2019, when Raila Odinga was being sworn in as the people's president, when the courage failed them, when foresight failed them, when brotherhood failed them on that day, in 2018, that is when, I think, is it 2018 or 2017?
It was 2018, I think, earlier. Is it
yes,
February?
yes. When the Right Honorable Raila Odinga was sworn in as the people's president, that is when the disintegration of NASA came to the fore. Remember, these people since then have been working as a team. Musalia Mudavadi, Moses Wetangula, and also Kalonzo Musyoka, and today they have added Gideon Moi and some other people. Now, when you look at it this way, when they cry for and also try to play victim as if opposition is crumbling. Opposition crumbled in 2018, Miriam, and every person, including a person that is in the very least developed part of this country, know that there is no opposition in those people. The opposition was and is Raila Amolo Odinga, and who is also working with the President of the Republic of Kenya. So there is nothing like a crumbling of opposition, Miriam, and also the cracking of the whip that was done in Senate for Senate Minority Leader Cleophas Malala. That was wrong overdue. He was supposed to be kicked out of the leadership of that of Senate, because Miriam, he is a man that has never shown any respect for ODM. He has been going back to his ANC, and I think that relieves him and also gives him more time to focus on strengthening ANC in Western Kenya, where is their bastion. So Miriam, critically, when you look at opposition and also NASA ended in 2018. They have not been telling us the truth. They mention NASA when it is convenient for them. They mention NASA when it is politically convenient for them to do so. But they know very well their hearts and their minds and their actions and everything. Politically, they are not in NASA. NASA died in 2018, and the only thing that binds them today is the coalition agreement that they had struck, which says that for this coalition to die, more than 3 members have to leave the coalition, but they have not left. Legally, they have not left, but this is as good as dead, Miriam, because we have seen Raila Odinga not coalescing around NASA. We have seen these other 3 coalescing around together without the NASA outfit, but legally they are together, but politically they are dead, Miriam. So for anyone who keeps thinking that they are together, they are not. Thank you, Miriam.
Okay, thank you so much. And the story is on page 8 of the Standard newspaper. ODM yesterday moved to consolidate its influence in the Senate by removing Cleophas Malala of Amani National Congress from the position of Deputy Minority Leader. In move that has kicked off a major storm, especially among NASA coalition partners. The Kakamega senator was replaced by Kilifi Stewart Madzayo. This came as leaders from Coast Region are reportedly planning to unveil a new political party next week. And Kilifi Governor Amason Kingi is set to become the leader of the new party. Some coast leaders accuse ODM leader Raila Odinga of unfairness in sharing leadership positions in parliament, which they say is populated by MPs from his Nyanza backyard. They say this is what has informed their decision to form their own party ahead of 2022. And a petition later by NASA partner parties Ford Kenya, ANC and Wiper to Senate Speaker Kenneth Lusaka, prevailing on him not to effect the changes, failed after he dismissed the entry, saying he did not wish to be drawn into internal affairs of party. Musa, a very good morning to you. What do you make of this latest? Well, I think opposition sort of fell out, but the handshake seems to have brought them back together. So will these squabbles in the opposition even affect the handshake so far? And is NASA even still there?
Thank you so much, Miriam, for having me. Just to go direct to the point, you've said about the formation of this political party from coastal region, which is going to be headed by Kingi, the governor for Kilifi. And Raila and NASA, as Douglas has put it, died in the year 2018. And one thing which, as a political analyst, I will not be partisan as far as party politics is concerned, is that ODM has been trading in murky waters, Miriam. And as far as we are speaking about these murky waters, remember when BBI came, and before BBI, in the year 2018, the first person to complain, Miriam, was not anyone but the governor for Turkana County, Joseph Nanok, when Raila visited the region. And Nanok said, "You are eating the rabbit all yourselves. Yet I'm a representative of ODM. I really stood with that party. You've not been granting me any representation as far as that party is concerned." And that was Nanok, who stood with ODM, Miriam. And I don't know what happened in the internal wrangles of the party. I might not blame Raila Amolo Odinga for this, Miriam, but the likes of Sifuna. And even before that, as far as issues of presentation is concerned, Miriam, you remember when ODM were in the eve of electing the likes of Miguna, the likes of the former MP for Budalangi, what's his name? Who was to be the Secretary General for the party, and the men in black came and stormed in Kasarani. So all these things have been happening. And when you come to the advent of now, them doing away with Cleophas Malala, Miriam, I think that is, to me, a political misunderstanding, Miriam. Not even a mistake, misunderstanding. Because I've been to Western, Miriam, and when you go to Western, Miriam, the party which takes order of the day, and they have really been trying to consolidate left, right, and center is ANC, a man in National Congress. We might see him not as sometimes as a national figure, but Musalia Mudavadi has been alluded even that he is behind the sabbatical, bath taken by the recent member for Kiminini, that is Didmas Baraza. And as far as this is concerned, Miriam, I've always been mentioning party politics, and party politics now going down to regional politics. What is happening now currently in Northern Kenya, Miriam? I wish to inform you that Eden Duale has begun the process of forming a regional party for Northern Kenya. That is something which elders have been talking about, people have been talking about. Now you are seeing it happening with Coast, Miriam. Rift Valley, we already know the kind of format they are going to take. Most probably UDA is going to take order of the day as far as maybe reconsolidating what is happening in that region. And even, Miriam, apart from that, it was not Cleophas Malala alone. It was Ledama Olekina. You remember, Miriam, the other time when he was elected as representative for Senate Investments Affairs Committee. And a lot of wrangles came when Sam Ongeri was proposed by ODM. For his own, comfortability, he had to take down and just leave the seat, Miriam. But since then, Ledama Olekina, he's not in Tanga, neither is he in some oppositional affiliate. But as far as, the Maasai politics is concerned, he is not well. And we know the influence of Ledama Olekina. So I don't understand how party politics are traded, Miriam, as far as ODM is concerned, but ODM should rethink of one stuff, Miriam.
Okay.
Coastal region already Joho is saying, I will vie as the presidential candidate. Politically speaking, I know he's not going to be granted to vie on ODM seat. I'm sure, and I'm very assured of that. But the likes of Kingi, Miriam, who are now trying to bring the coastal outfit, remember Kingi comes from, if you look maybe ethnically, he comes from one of the majority tribes of the Mijikenda Miriam in Kilifi, and they are trying now to bring the politics of, the likes of Ronald Ngala, the traditional politics of, Karisa Maitha. Now they want to advance that coastal interest. So I see ODM, I might not blame Raila Odinga on this, but the likes of Edwin Sifuna, what is happening in ODM, Miriam, is not comfortable. I submit.
Right. Okay, thank you so much. That is Musa Abdihaji from Isiolo. Jevan, a very good morning to you now. The Speaker of the Senate, Lusaka, ratified decision by 20 senators who ousted the Kakamega counterpart, says his interest is adherence to rules, not internal affairs of parties. And we've seen the rest of the NASA, on the coalition, not very happy with the move that ODM senators took of removing Cleophas Malala as the deputy minority leader there in Parliament. How do you think this will affect that coalition, which I don't know if it's still there, and will it spill over to the handshake? Because we know these former NASA leaders are key partners in the handshake right now. Jevan.
Thank you very much, Miriam, for that good question. And I may say this, as we talk, the NASA coalition, you've asked whether it is still there or not. I will say that the NASA coalition is there because from the agreement that is in public domain, the NASA will cease to exist if two of the coalition parties, political parties, decomes and join other parties. And as we speak, Miriam, they are still together. ANC, Wiper, and Ford Kenya, they are still in NASA. Therefore, the NASA is there. But the dominant factor here is NASA was mainly, the major party was ODM. Therefore, that is why some guys feel like when ODM went for the handshake, that is when NASA ceased to exist. But to me, I don't think so, because we have seen the force between Musalia Mudavadi, Wiper Kalonzo Musyoka, and Ford Kenya, Moses Wetangula, when they were in Kabuchai, when they were in Matungu, this is a force to reckon. And Miriam, in politics, you cannot adorate someone when they have not reached to a point where we have tested them politically. From the few litmus tests that we have done, NASA is still existing, but ODM is a problem, is a thorn in the flesh in the NASA partners. That is why they don't read from the same script. Miriam, we have seen internal ruggles in ODM affecting the operations of NASA. We have seen ODM failing to sponsor serious candidates in the recent by-election. We saw what happened in Musambweni, Miriam. They failed to do the right things at the right time. In Matungu, they failed to give the candidates who are popular, candidates who have been in party for a long time, for a period of time, and they go for candidates. I don't know whether it's money factor also, but there's a problem in ODM leadership, Miriam. We have seen when you go to Senate today, Miriam, minority leader James Orengo comes from Nyanza. When you go to National Assembly, Junet Mohammed comes from the same region. When they have given us a prestigious position in ODM to the people, to Luos, to the people who come from the Luo Nyanza, Miriam. This to me is discrimination. That is why today Amason Kingi, Joho Hassan Joho, and others, Miriam, they will not sit plenty seeing the kind of discrimination that is happening in ODM. Joho has already declared his presidential ambition. Miriam, in ODM, with all factors remaining constant, Joho will not get the party ticket to vie on ODM as an ODM candidate. That is why, and I don't see any problem with Joho and Amason Kingi forming a regional party, Miriam. That is the truth. That is the factor. That is the facts of our Kenyan politics. When you talk of Jubilee, it's mostly dominant in Mount Kenya and the Rift Valley. because of TNA and the URP. Miriam, as we speak, regional Coastal, they don't have a regional party. Turukanas are talking of having their own parties. Ledama Olekina and the likes of Kajiado's governor and other Narok governor, they are talking of having a political affiliate, a party coming together to form one party. Therefore, at the end of the day, Miriam, we are staring at the reality of our Kenyan politics, where politics is local, where politics is regional, where we have reduced national conversation to regional conversation in terms of politics. But the outstar of Cleophas Malala, this was pure mischief by ODM, because they feel like Musalia Mudavadi has already started forming his political path. He has started forming partners, and he is ready to go for the presidential ballot. And they have realized if Mulembe Nation joins hands together and they come together, Miriam, that is a force to reckon. That is why ODM, they feel threatened. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much. Now let's head over to another party that I don't know if it's in government or opposition, but still I think in opposition, and that is the UDA. And the main headline on the Star newspaper this morning: Ruto linked UDA party to give, they're putting it in quotes, hustlers a key position. So let's see how hustlers are set to benefit in UDA, and the story is on page 6 of the Star newspaper. The United Democratic Alliance, a party associated with Deputy President William Ruto, has unveiled its constitution, having an expanded leadership structure with 3 deputy party leaders. Oh wow. Notably, the party's national leader will also not be its automatic presidential candidate, giving party members a cocktail of options to pick from during the National Delegates Convention. Douglas, that sounds like democracy in UDA.
Thank you, Miriam. Anything associated with William Ruto is something that he learned from at my age in KANU since 1992. KANU and perfected the art of expanding the vice chairman positions, the secretary generals who are so many, and all that. Miriam, this is just one of the many tricks that William Ruto has been able to devise for over 30 years now in our political space to outwink Kenyans. And also, we need to tell each other the truth. When in politics you see what is being displayed on the table, you are lost. In politics, you have to see what is being said and what is not displayed on the table. What William Ruto is trying to do is trying to maneuver the others so that he can try and tell people of Kenya that, I have brought inclusivity and all that. And remember, Miriam, it is the same forest but different monkeys. And these monkeys are different brands of parties. These parties are not different from their owners. And the owner is William Ruto. So anything that is branded with William Ruto expansion of their party structure to accommodate more hustlers. Remember, Miriam, what he did to the poor people in Nairobi. When poor people will talk, when their history will be written in this country, I will be on the front line because I've advocated for their history. History will be kind to me. William Ruto discriminated against a poor hustler who lives in Mathare, who wanted to run for governor in Nairobi. But God had his own ways that there was no election. UDA and the set road for the billionaire preacher, Bishop Margaret Wanjiru of Jesus is Arrived Ministries. Miriam, everywhere William Ruto has gone, he has gone ahead with this party for the last 3 months. He has been able to accommodate people of means like himself. He has not been able to accommodate these so-called poor people, the hustlers of this nation. And Miriam, at the end of the day, if a chameleon changes its color, its behavior remains the same. It is a chameleon. And at the end of the day, this political chameleon, William Ruto, who keeps changing one party to another. Today he is in KANU, tomorrow he is in ODM, the next day he is in URP, the next day he is in IJAP, Jubilee Alliance Party, the next day he is in Jubilee, now he is in UDA. This chameleon, political chameleon called Dr. William Ruto has not changed. The behavior of William Ruto has not changed. It is only the colors that he has changed. Imagine the people of Kenya and people that can be able to see beyond what William Ruto is trying to display here. William Ruto has no demonstrable evidence. He has no demonstrable record of supporting the poor people and elevating them to leadership positions in his UDA outfit. In Machakos County, he went ahead to support the nephew of Muthama Ngengere himself, when he went to Kabuchai, he supported rich people. So Miriam, when he expands these positions and outwings young people to join his party so that he can get to State House in 2022, these are the same tricks that William Ruto has been employing since he was in KANU. And at the end of the day, Miriam, the young people should wake up now and see what is not being said. What is not being said is that William Ruto has not changed. It is the same William Ruto that was killing young people and also beating many old people in 1992 when he was in Y92. This is the same William Ruto, very ungrateful, a man that has been always moving in the crock of others. Now he has turned against them. He wants to tell the people of Kenya that I have changed, I have come now. I have come to rescue. You cannot use your 30 years in politics, Miriam, destroying the lives and ambitions of poor people, and now claiming that you are expanding your own party to be able to accommodate more poor people, Miriam. Remember, in 1992, he supported billionaire President Moi. In 1997, billionaire President Moi. In 2002, he supported a young millionaire, President Uhuru Kenyatta. 2007, Raila Amolo Odinga. Remember, Miriam, there is one perennial presidential loser in the name of Kukubo Nixon Jeremiah from Kiambu. This Kukubo Nixon Jeremiah has been running for office since time immemorial. Since I was a kid, I could hear Kukubo Nixon Jeremiah, Meru County, 0. Kukubo Nixon Jeremiah, Kericho, 0. And William Ruto has never found it in his heart to support a fellow Asra like himself. I have seen Paul Mwite running for president, Miriam. Why has he not invested in the ambitions of other poor people? This is a man that has been supporting the people he is fighting today, calling them dynasties and all manner of names, Miriam. This is a man that has not, this is a chameleon, a perfect picture of a political chameleon that has not changed its behavior. Okay. It only changes its colors, Miriam.
All
Thank you.
Sasa umerabisha democracy ya UDA. Okay. All right, so when picking a presidential candidate, that is according to the Constitution of the United Democratic Alliance, they unveiled their constitution yesterday, modus operandi there, I think. According to the UDA constitution, exclusively obtained by the Star, there will be an elaborate process to pick the presidential candidate with emphasis on fair competition. When picking a presidential candidate, the Constitution has stipulated that one shall be required to obtain more than 50% of the National Delegates Congress votes, where, however, no contestant obtains more than 50% of the votes cast, there shall be a rerun between the first two contestants, and the contestant with a simple majority shall be the party's presidential candidate, the document reads. The Constitution has also given the party's presidential candidate exclusive powers to nominate a running mate after securing nomination by the NDC. This is a departure from the Jubilee Constitution, which requires that the party presidential candidate be nominated jointly with a running mate at the NDC. Professor, I've seen that you've joined. A very good morning to you. Tunangalia Constitution. Yeah, UDA. They have a lot of democracy. 3 deputy, I think, party leaders, I think.
And you call that one democracy?
So you want to expand the executive?
They are trying to
bring everybody
to be accommodative and bring so many interest parties into unfold. And remember, Miriam, now you are saying that their presidential nominee nominates his deputy, and you call that one democracy? And here people are, why can't people choose their leader and their deputy leader at the same place? So that's their internal democracy, Miriam. That's how they want to run their party. But from where I sit, I don't see any democracy, Miriam. They are. I have told you the name of the meaning of that party where we have come from, Miriam. It is a party. The way Douglas was trying to put it, that it's a party full of conmanship, Miriam, fraudster, whereby people, we don't live the ideas of the founding members of that party, the late John Kennedy Kirikou. So that's how I have to say that in terms when it comes to the deputy president, Miriam, I have no kind words for him, because Miriam, he masquerades that he can liberate democracy I have gone through his biography, Miriam. I've looked at history, Miriam. I don't see him as a Democrat, Miriam. What I know that he went through the YK, a very terrible training, and now you can see the kind of seats, Miriam, which emanated out of YK. There is no democracy near there, Miriam. They are trying to accommodate and cater for regions for people to be seen, Miriam. They are on the high tempo, Miriam. Our man is also the deputy party leader. Mm-hmm. So those kind of democracies, Miriam, you can remember times when, and you go back all the way to 1966, Miriam, when they wanted to weaken and deal with the late Jaramogi Oginga Odinga. They decided to split the position of the vice chairman into 8 regional vice presidents, Miriam. And we even saw it in 2000, was in 2002, 2001, when NDB joined KANU under the partnership, and Miriam, you saw we had this kind of vice chairman. So those kind of things, Miriam, they are trying to cheat Kenyans that something is being done. I submit.
Okay. Thank you so much, Professor. Now, the UDA constitution gives party members powers to petition for a special delegates convention, while the parliamentary leadership will have authority to hold their own meetings without necessarily being attended by the party leader, in what appears to be a deliberate effort to anchor the Hustler nation in the UDA constitution. The Hustlers will run the party from the polling station all the way to the national level. Sounds good on paper. Is this likely to happen, really, with all factors notwithstanding, and how we know the nature of our politics, Musa?
Miriam, I will agree with Professor Onyari on this. Let me tell you, when it comes to paper politics in Kenya, they are the best. They know how to draft constitution. They know how to make recommendation. They know how to harmonize. Everything is good with Kenyan political parties as far as paper is concerned. We saw manifesto, Miriam, up to now, I tell my mom, she voted for Jubilee, and sometimes there was a time she told me 5 stadiums would be built, 12 of them is in Isiolo. She just tells me, where are those stadiums? And I just laugh of Miriam, because there is no question, or there is no answer I can give to that question. As in, our political parties are good in manifesto. That is what I'm meaning, Miriam. Remember when ODM unveiled its manifesto and how things were good before Men in Black came, Miriam. So I will not be convinced. I will agree with Professor Onyari on this. Let me tell you, UDA, I said, is a party which is even younger than some of the CBOs in this country, Miriam. Even non-political parties, community-based organization. Now, I wonder how so quick someone can establish a constitution, Miriam. Mm-hmm. Just copy-paste of the previous constitution, Miriam, and I don't see any relevance as far as that is concerned. A constitution cannot fully guarantee stability of the party. Remember, at the end of the day, Miriam, in Kenyan politics, political parties are driven by patronage. Mm-hmm. Political parties are driven by personalities. Political parties are more of a personal property, Miriam. So when they are speaking of, let's say now Oscar Sudi going to Kapseret, and now the voters decide, Miriam, and they say, we want another person. Would you think William Ruto will allow Oscar Sudi to be defeated in primaries, Miriam? That is a very diabolical thing to do as far as, party politics is concerned. And Miriam, just to add on that, now I think we are seeing regional politics coming into play. Today I was listening to Deputy President William Ruto when he was speaking on Radio Citizen earlier this morning. Mm-hmm. And Vincent Atea, one of the anchors, asked him, would you mind working with Raila Amolo Odinga? And Deputy President replied, Miriam, Raila Amolo Odinga is someone whom we share the same outfit of, having a national, a political party with a national outlook. And when he said that, Miriam, I knew how Kenyan politicians maneuver. There might be insulting one another in public, but Miriam, we know how Kenyan politicians are. You remember in 2007, 2008, what Kalonzo Musyoka did to Raila Amolo Odinga, Miriam? Out of the blues, he just passed, and Mwai Kibaki made him the vice president. I think Javan recalls that when he said, Nitapita katikati. So in Kenyan politics, Miriam, as Javan has put it, we don't have to put anyone aside. We don't know how these things are going. I know 1 year, 17 months to election is really a far much bigger, time remaining. But to answer your question, Miriam, and to add a point on that, a constitution cannot really convince a party democracy or credibility. What convinces party democracy and credibility, Miriam? If a party is successful, transparent, open in its nomination and primaries, Miriam. Especially primaries, when now it is 3 months, 4 months to election, and the primaries are done in a more transparent way, Miriam. People are given their dues according to what they deserve. That is the only way you can rate a party is truly democratic and a party is truly open in Kenya. But I know as far as UDA is concerned, Miriam, look at the type of political personalities in UDA. Now, can you tell Johnston Muthama to lose a senatorial seat when he has been defeated by a young man in UDA party in the name of hustlers voting for him in 2022, Miriam? It's impossible. I know even to make it worse, their National Election Board is something which they cannot establish easily, Miriam. And they will just bring old political outfits, those people who have tried in party politics and failed, and try to fill them in that position, Miriam. I submit.
Okay, thank you so much. Jevan. UDA has brought us, democracy and expanded executive over here.
Miriam, the politics of UDA, these are politics that to some extent, Miriam, they don't reflect to the survival of a clean or a pure politics that is determined to take this country to the next level or to uplift the livelihoods of Kenyans. UDA is a party that calls it kazi ni kazi, Miriam. But when it comes to nomination, they don't go for kazi ni kazi as in terms of going for the people who are downtrodden in the society or those people who are poor in the society, but they go for those people who have means. Therefore, this is a party that has not lived its call because they pretend to be a party that champions for the rights of hustlers. But when a prestigious position comes, when a by-election emerges, Miriam, they don't go for the hustlers. It's like they don't trust the hustlers. They trust hustlers with their votes, but not to lead. That is, to me, is not a good gesture. You should live by your words. But Miriam, they pretend to have a very smart constitution, Miriam. But to some extent, they have been the same guys who have been fighting the expanded executive in our politics through BBI, Miriam. Therefore, these people, Miriam, this double standing, Miriam, you cannot fight an expansion of the executive, but you want it to come to your party and you pretend that everything is right. That is not good.
Okay. All right. The story on page 5 of the Daily Nation. I think UDA to conduct grassroots polls in June. United Democratic Alliance, a party linked to Deputy President William Ruto, will hold grassroots election on June 18th, even as disputes among leaders allied to the outfit rage. Dr. Ruto yesterday met MPs to discuss the elections, how to maintain the Hustler Nation campaign in the face of the pandemic and recruiting members. We are building a party from the grassroots. We will show our detractors that those who don't like democracy, that it is possible. That is what Mathira, Member of Parliament Rigathi Gachagua. Dr. Ruto told members not to dwell on the recent by-election losses, but focus on the 22 general elections and building alliances. So, Professor, UDA is really seeking to establish itself as a democratic party in this country, and it's saying it's going to do things differently compared to, Jubilee, NASA, and other outfits here. What is this likely to look like? William,
when you were in school, you were behaving like a student. When you got out of school, those students who see you passing by near their school, they think you have never been in the school, that they are the only one who are in school now. Why am I saying so? UDA thinks that now that they have moved from there, they can be a different party, Miriam. What I know, the forest has changed, but the monkeys are the same. The actors are the same. Miriam, I believe in the Damascus experience, Miriam, that you can go on your way and you get converted and you become you change your name from Saul to Paul. Which training have these people gone now that they start lecturing us democracy when they have wrecked the democracy of their parties they have come? Miriam, when you just look around, Miriam, is that I differ you today. I just go and form my own church. And you are having, you can hear on Sunday, evangelical churches, people making noise all over. This is a replica of what is happening in our political parties. Miriam, I'm not lying to you. I have had an opportunity to look at some of the constitution of political parties. When you are starting from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 10 as the objective and the aims of the party, what they will do, the other party will start 10 coming downwards, copying all the same and pasting Miriam. So there's no, from where I sit, Miriam, spare me, that I don't need to discuss about UDA.
Okay.
Those are the people who have got no respect for institution, who have got no respect for their leadership of their party. They have fed Miriam when they have got the opportunity to serve. Imagine Miriam, what an honorable thing to serve as a deputy president for the Republic of Kenya, the principal assistant of the president. Then you forget about that, and then you start campaigning for the imaginary. And you just go around, Miriam, and then you start inciting young people, trying to tell them that you are going to create the Asra nation, Miriam. Very unfortunate, Miriam. Mm-hmm. And even the one you have said about ODM, about Miriam, I'm looking forward for that day, Miriam, when we can agree to do things. We write it in black and white, Miriam. We deposit in the political register for political parties, Miriam. And we respect that kind of honor. Even what's happening ODM and they're trying to do with their NASA counterparts, Miriam, it does not aware for democracy, Miriam. Tomorrow, I'm not going to have that kind of partnership with you. That's the most unfortunate thing. You can see now the President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta was very focused, Miriam, of living a united nation, country. That's why he corrupts so many parties, Miriam, to make Jubilee. What have you seen even before 5 years down the line? People have run back to the old normal, Miriam. So from where I sit, Miriam, the time has come for us to be gentlemen. Gentlemen and the women or ladies enough that when we don't agree, that we can agree, but we can move on. I don't just disagree with you. I just go look one of the affiliates of Jubilee, get it, change and then change the sign from a bull to a wheelbarrow, and then you start saying that now you are Asra Nation as if there's someone who's stopping you from changing the lives of the people of Kenya, the young people. And you are condemning the young people that the best they can do, Miriam, is to push a wheelbarrow and a Bongoten, Miriam. Time has come, Miriam, for us to have honest leadership. But what I realized, Miriam, from what I saw in Kabuchai, from what I saw in Matungu, from what I saw in Kiamukama, from what I saw in Oruma Ward in Eldoret, from what I saw in Machakos, Miriam, the future for UDA is dim.
All right. So let's just leave that there on that dim note and head over to another news. The main headline on the Daily Nation, the Russian vaccine row raises safety concerns. I want for us to look at this very quickly, because yesterday I was watching Dr. Mwangangi talk and I was a bit confused when she was I think addressing this issue and a news item I saw on one of our television stations here about this Russian vaccine that is in the country, and the Ministry of Health has not approved it and all that, and it has found its way all the way near when Jevan is. Jevan, uko kuna dawa nasikia. I saw yesterday in Nanyuki, Laikipia County. Now, two ministry, I'm reading from page 10 of the Daily Nation. Two ministry.
Yeah. It is in
Cottage something.
Hospital.
All right, let's just read through.
Cottage Hospital in Nanyuki,
Okay, good. Two Ministry of Health agencies have denied authorizing the reported release of Russian-made COVID-19 vaccine, Sputnik V, into some private Kenyan hospitals, raising safety concerns over the planned sale of the jab to the public. The head of the immunization at the ministry, Dr. Collins Tabu, yesterday said he was not aware of the Sputnik V vaccine's existence in the country, even as the Pharmacy and Poisons Board said it had only approved its importance but not distribution. Private health facilities such as the Nanyuki Cottage Hospital had by yesterday already started registering Kenyans for uptake of the jab at a reported cost of 8,000 Kenya shillings. The World Health Organization has not yet authorized emergency use of Sputnik V, even though it's already in use in multiple countries across the globe. Mr. Nishat Mishra, a senior official at Dinlas Pharmaceuticals, the distributor, yesterday said that the vaccine has been imported with the full knowledge and clearance of a PPB. All right. We used freight in the time limited as a clearing agent. We are using the freight in times cold room to store it at the required temperature levels. We have a tracker to monitor the temperature around the clock. The PPB official, who did not wish to be named, admitted that the agency had authorized the importation of this Sputnik V, but claimed the board was not aware of its distribution across the country. Douglas.
Miriam, the greatest problem with our country is corruption. That is the greatest impediment even to development and also the well-being of our people. If it were not for corruption, Kenya, its economy can be able to take care of all of us and also make sure that we live very comfortable lives. Now, when this history about coronavirus will be written, it will be written that when PPEs were brought into the country, corruption swallowed everything. Because from KEMSA 1 scandal to this vaccine scandal. Remember when this vaccine was said to be coming to the country, we discussed it and we said, we hope that there will be no scandals about the vaccine. But this being typical of us as a country, we have now earned people from the Ministry of Health and other agencies that are supposed to be authorizing these vaccines, authorize, then deny. Because this is Kenya. I don't think that a vaccine came from Russia, came to JKIA, from JKIA, it went to all the way to Cottage Hospital in Nanyuki without the watchful eye of the agencies and also the Ministry of Health. So it is hypocrisy for the Ministry of Health to be able to deny what is happening across the country. We have had people who are selling the jabs, the free doses that are being distributed by the government for about 10,000. Now, these vaccines come in the country. They are good to save lives and all that. I hear the Russian vaccine is one dose and you are okay. But at the end of the day, the question remains, who authorized the vaccine that went all the way to Nanyuki? Nanyuki is not just around JKIA. It means that there are people who are involved in the chain. It means there are people from Ministry of Health and also other government agencies who are involved. Who are these people who authorized this medicine, this vaccine, Miriam, to be distributed and also be taken to these hospitals? And at the end of the day, we need to be very honest with ourselves. For us to be able to achieve proper inoculation of the people of Kenya, proper utilization of government resources to inoculate every citizen with this vaccine, it means that we have to have corruption casualties along the way. People that have granted themselves at the Ministry of Health and other government agencies mandated in containment of coronavirus. Miriam, it is very sad for our country that in the midst of an health emergency across the world, in the midst of a situation where in Israel, they have vaccinated over 80% of their population, bearing also in mind their population is less than Kenya. But what we are seeing today in Kenya is pure corruption, Miriam. This cannot have any other name, including when you have any other scientific name or anything. This is pure corruption, Miriam. We need to deal with the corruption at the root of it from the Ministry of Health, where Mutahi Kagwe sees there are cartels and the mafias who have refused to be able to see the ground for the poor people to receive services in this country, Miriam. So for us to be able to fight corruption in this country, Miriam, we need to have casualties of corruption. In KEMSA, we are being taken to circles, people being investigated in parliament. Miriam, to deviate just a moment and talk about corruption, in this country, if you are caught in this vaccine scandal and it is known that you have sold about 100 million worth of doses, Kenya shillings, what would happen? You're going to be summoned to parliament. But to me, Douglas Bundi Keremi, if I steal a chicken today, if I am caught with a petty crime in my village, today, by Tuesday next week, I would have been sentenced to 20 years in prison, Miriam, without even a chance for appeal or anything. And with Adireba, and I'll be beaten and taken to committee or Kingongo prison or Shimoratewa, Miriam. But if you still, corruption in this country is glorified, and we need to deal with the corruption the way we are dealing with the coronavirus in this country, Miriam. Because our greatest virus in this country is not even corona. It is corruption, Miriam. I submit by saying, for government to be able to inoculate our people, the poor people, the roi poroi of this nation, to receive these vaccines, we need to be able to deal with the corruption 100%, Miriam. Because instead of our people receiving certifying vaccines and everything, people are sneaking vaccines from Russia. The next day we shall hear that they are sneaking vaccines from Australia. The next day we shall hear that they are sneaking vaccines from another country. And this is not good for the health of our country, Miriam, because corruption is the greatest virus in this country, Miriam.
Yes, that corruption is worse than even the pandemic itself. It's another pandemic by itself. Now, this official says it is not in the market, this Russian vaccine. It is not in the market because we are still developing the guidelines which they have to meet before it is finally authorized by the usage, the official said. There are conditions, the officials said, which are supposed to ensure user safety, which private distributors must meet before approval. So that is what the government officials are saying. But we saw Nanyuki Cottage coming out and saying we have them here. Matter of fact, we're starting to administer them tomorrow. So what is what? We need some clarity in such an important matter. Jevan, don't you think?
Yeah, Miriam, we need to be serious as a country because there's no way those vaccines got their way to Nanyuki Cottage Hospital without the knowledge of the government. Miriam, I got a tip of that what is happening is that you pay to get this vaccine. And Miriam, this information were to be held in secret. And people all the way from Nairobi, those people who have money, they could come all the way to Nanyuki Cottage because this is a hospital that is for this is the Aga Khan and the Karen Hospital in these areas. This is a big hospital, the private hospital where the big guys who have money goes to for treatment. Therefore, they could have sneaked their way all the way from Mombasa, Kisumu, and they could have got their vaccine here. But what about the common wananchi? Miriam, the information that is circulating in public domain is that even this AstraZeneca vaccine from USA, in some private institution, Miriam, I don't know how they got the vaccine, but they are selling at 5,000 shillings. A friend of mine was telling me if I want to get the vaccine, he can connect me in one way or the other to get these things.
You mean AstraZeneca?
The corruption in this country. He's telling me that at a fee you can get vaccinated, and you wonder how things got out of hands to a point where private institution they are making it commercial with this vaccine. They are doing business with this vaccine. And Miriam, the information, and I think Kenyans, we need to wake up because I don't know why Kenyans are very easy to be swayed, to be lied to be conned. I think we have a problem as Kenyans because we know very well that the information the government put is that this vaccine is given freely, and there are some areas where you will get this vaccine. But you see, Kenyans, I don't know why the hurry. They are getting this vaccine from anywhere. This is how they are being conned because at the end of the day, you might be injected with some other vaccines or some other pure distilled water, and you think you have been vaccinated because this is business, and we know the culture of Kenyans. They are very good at things that in making money, Miriam. We saw when we had the fake in Tanzania. There was a mzee who was giving some herbs in Roliodo, and you saw how Kenyans were lining up to get these medications. Therefore, at the end of the day, we Kenyans, we have that culture of conning others and to be conned easily. Therefore, we need to wake up and only follow the government regulations and to get this vaccine according to the government protocols without going to these other private institutions. But Miriam, corruption is real in this country because the only means that this vaccine came to this country is through corruption. Therefore, the government officials colluded with the corrupt pharmaceuticals and so on to ensure that this vaccine from Russia lands to this country. The law should take its course, and those who held culpable, they should suffer severely so that they deter from committing such crimes. Because Miriam, if this vaccine was not safe for human consumption, then we are staring at a very risky situation where we might start contracting other diseases that are related to this fake vaccine or this vaccine that are not authorized by the government. And to Kenyans, let's wait. Let's not be in a hurry to get this vaccine. Let's get the government roll this process easily. And because they're involving the public, Miriam, we'll get vaccinated at the right time, because you might be hurry and you get the wrong thing and you leave blaming yourself for the rest of your life, because this vaccine, Miriam, they are permanent. It's not something that will be you'll go out there and do some exercise and you forget about it. No, this is something that will remain in your body for quite a period of time. Therefore, let's be decent enough and follow the government protocols and wait until the right time. But the corruption in this country should be dealt with without fear or favor. Without looking aside, because Miriam, it is sad, Miriam, because we are staring at a very bad situation. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. It's interesting, Jiva, that you pointed out there that the government has not approved, but according to Dillner's Pharmaceuticals, there is quoted yesterday, and he came out. He said that we obtained an emergency use authorization from the Pharmacy and Poisons Board on March 9th, and we also have all other documents, licenses, and badge releases. So they're saying they followed the due course of the law. Why is it important, Musa? Perhaps for when it comes to something such as important as this, for the government to come out while addressing such issues, to be very clear about its information they're giving out there.
Thank you, Miriam. I think without, regarding any favor to anyone, never has it come a time Kenyan government has been prepared as far as these issues of disaster is concerned. Leave alone even Uhuru Kenyatta's government. Go to Kibaki's government. Go to Jomo Kenyatta's government. The government has never taken responsibility of the blames and the mistakes they have done. And how can you say you are living in a democracy when the government is not taking responsibility? And what do we mean by responsibility here, Miriam? The reason why people are going now for vaccines like Sputnik from Russia, Pfizer from United States of America, it's because of misinformation, Miriam. It's already on the public domain. The drug which is being taken by Americans, the Pfizer, the Sputnik is now in Zimbabwe. It's in a part of Southern Africa. The Kenyan government, and I blame them wholly on this, they are not giving that direction of assuring Kenyans on what to take. What will it cost, Miriam, if Uhuru Kenyatta will come out and say, today I shall be administered with AstraZeneca vaccine? Every Kenyan will believe that AstraZeneca vaccine is going to do good. And one thing we should be putting in focus here is instilling that public confidence, Miriam. Maybe sometimes you might take, like what in the colonial times, Kinjikitile Ngwale told these people that I shall spray you springs of water and then the bullets shall not hit you. He wanted to only achieve unity, and when those guys of Maji Rebellion went to face the Germans, they were killed. But, he gave them an assurance that this water I'm going to sprinkle on you is going to act like a bullet protection. It's going to act like an armor. Do we even have that kind of leadership in this country, Miriam, when the time of before vaccination came, everyone was really yearning and waiting for vaccine. Now vaccine has come. Yesterday, as you've put it, only 5 police officers have taken out of the possible 5,000 in coastal region, Miriam. So my humble submission here is instilling of public confidence. Number 2, deal with misinformation. How can you deal with misinformation? Put on the public domain, Miriam. Put on social media streams, main media streams, Miriam, mainstream media, and tell people this is right, this is wrong, Miriam. And something, yes, Sputnik might work, but now the protocol followed, Miriam, in procuring for those stuff. We never know how it can even be administered, per dose and sort of the stuff. This is purely a Russian vaccine, Miriam. And when Russian vaccine is made, maybe it has been made with requirements of those parts of Siberia, which are negative 40 degrees Celsius, Miriam. And now a Kenyan is taking here in Nanyuki. There are some health precautions, Miriam, Kenyans are good at escaping. And as if we invented capitalism in this country. Every Kenyan is so capitalist when it comes to such issues, Miriam. I submit.
All right, very well. Actually, it's quite temperature friendly when it comes to this Sputnik V. Its storage temperature is about 2 to 8 degrees Celsius, which means it can be stored in a conventional refrigerator without need for cold chain infrastructure. Now, it has been distributed in a couple of countries across the world, but I was looking at the list and not a major European Union country that has it, or the US. And so the World Health Organization has not yet authorized emergency use of this vaccine. But we also have to put into context, or remember, the diplomatic troubles that Russia has been having with the European Union, and we know who controls the World Health Organization. So there's a likelihood, I don't know, this is just perhaps the journalist in me thinking, trying to find something out of just the normal here. There could be some international politics coming into play, perhaps against this Russian vaccine. I don't know. It's just me thinking loud there.
Yeah.
But Professor, why the government? Why has it not come clear to address this issue head on?
Miriam, you need to understand the geopolitics of the world. You have to look at international relations, but you have to know, Miriam, the war during the Cold War.
I'm told you fix your headroom, Professor, please.
During the Cold War, Miriam, you understand, communism versus capitalism. That war has never ended up to this point in time, Miriam. And I have told you, Miriam, and we have agreed that there's the arrangement and the arrangement going all over the world, Miriam, that you are a friend to who you associate with. As much as I once said that, Miriam, you know very well Russia is not part of the European Union. So you can understand why it cannot be able to penetrate into European Union. You know, Russia still professes communism, Miriam, you know that. So there's that kind of likelihood, Miriam, and I've had my friends trying to say that, Miriam, that, how did Rand here? This is corruption, this is whatnot. Miriam, remember we are in the pandemic. And Miriam, let me tell you that it doesn't matter where the help comes from, so long as it is going to help humanity. In fact, Miriam, let me just be very honest with you that if the world could have even supported the people of Madagascar, Miriam, with that kind of vaccine, Miriam, I'm sure, Miriam, the numbers in Madagascar are not as big as in other areas, Miriam. So, Miriam, what I want to say that even the government has not denied that it can be used in the country. But, Miriam, there is a procedure on how the medicine or vaccine comes to this country. It has to be tried so that not every Tom, and Dick, Miriam, even if it is genuine, that you can import it and you come and use to people. And if it backfires, the government stands to be blamed. So, Miriam. So what the government has said that it needs to put policies and mechanism, Miriam, in place, and then, Miriam, the drug can be in the market. Remember, Miriam, we are in the liberalized economy. The markets are very open, Miriam. You can go anywhere and everywhere in the country, Miriam, and you procure goods so long as they meet the standards by Kenya Bureau of standards, Miriam. That's how I see it, Miriam. The government does not say that, it is not proper, it's not good, but the procedure of it arriving in the country, Miriam, has not been
But
followed.
the people who have imported it are saying we follow the procedures. They have the papers even to show for. So
yes, you can follow the procedure of importing the documents, Miriam.
Yes,
but when goods come to this country, Miriam, they have to be subjected by KEPS standards. And by and you go to
Pharmacy and Poisons Board.
Poison and Board, Miriam.
Yes.
So if it has gone through that one,
They've
Miriam,
been
it can be just be in the market.
Okay.
So Kenya, we should be very, very careful so that we don't enter into the politics of what's going on. In any event, Miriam, let me just be very honest with you. This is pharmaceutical companies, Miriam, which are trying to outdo each other and make a kill. Yes. At the end of this, even we can get it as a case study in this country. Out of COVID-19, Miriam, it has made people very poor, very miserable, while others have become billionaires, Miriam. There are some people who have seen COVID-19 as an opportunity. They have become wealth. Look at Kemsa Miriam, even you look at the report, if they could have not stopped it, what could have happened, the routing of money in this country, it's just unimaginable, Miriam.
Okay. Thank you so much, Professor Jared Onyari. Thank you, Jevan Karanja, Musa Abdi, and Douglas Kirimi. Emra Yunus, nice to see you this morning. You're saying, I think you're talking to Abdi Ngurusi there, and you're wondering where his stand is. He seems to be against both Raila and Ruto. I don't know. Now, Abdi, you're saying corruption is worse than COVID-19. This country is rotten to the core, and the only way to eradicate is to emulate Thomas Sankara's methodology of executing the thieves in public. The successive Kenyan government failed to fight corruption, but President Uhuru Kenyatta has been on the front line to fight corruption. You don't think he's doing that? What else can you do to
that
ensure?
Kenyan,
Go ahead.
Yeah, that Kenyan has said that. As I was coming from the reading, getting my newspapers from the news vendor, he exactly used the same words. Exactly. And they are not, they don't share, but they are different. So some Kenyans are going to get fatigued, Miriam, with corruption in this country. And Miriam, not far from what I'm saying, there is going to be public lynching of those people who are going to engage in corruption. Oh, no. So the sooner they stop, the better, Miriam, because you steal from us, you cannot be jailed, nothing will happen to you. Then, Miriam, it will reach at a point where Musa and others will take the law in their own hands and decide on how their country needs to be run, Miriam.
Okay, all right.
So we have got every cause to worry
about corruption in this country.
About corruption.
But Abdi, President Uhuru Kenyatta has really been trying to, on this war against corruption. I don't know what is it that the government is doing that perhaps the approach that is not working, and how would you perhaps advise if you were to get an opportunity to talk to President Uhuru Kenyatta and on the war against corruption? What would be your advice to him on an effective way to actually fight and win this war against corruption? I will be interested to know your thoughts on this. And who is this person? Let me just read one more comment, then we can go. And Abdi, Marcus Atiaya, you responded to Abdi by saying, Abdi, how do common Kenyan execute this? Because Abdi has suggested that these people should be executed in public. That is so radical. Who has goodwill for Kenya? Having in mind, reading your text, all the politicians are quacks. So who do you believe can save us from all these shenanigans? All right, you guys keep talking. I'll come back here at 11. We shall be looking at the latest, from the CS of Interior, Matiang'i, yesterday, saying Kenya we've had it, and the country wants to close down these refugee camps. National interest versus international obligations. That is the conversation we shall be having here at 11 a.m. And I saw on Twitter yesterday it was trending, and a lot of Kenyans are for the camps to close. But is it that easy to close? We have some international obligations that we are signatory to. So how will that all go? But also the interest of the country has to always come first. So it's a lot to unpack at 11. But coming up is Editor's Memo, and we shall be led by Dr. David Matanga. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Miriam Ogutu. Good morning.
Peace must be our goal and our guide. And all that we strive for as a human family, dignity and hope, progress and prosperity, depends on peace. But peace depends on us.